What's up guys, my name's Hollow and this is Learn to Play episode 5. In this episode we're going to be talking about jungling / neutral creeping. Neutral creeping is a term that you're barely ever going to hear, you might see it once or twice, and it just refers to fighting a neutral creep at any point in the game. And jungling is fighting the neutral creep from level 1 and having it as your primary way to get experience, where you go instead of going to the lane. General information. The first wave of neutral creeps spawns at 30 seconds into the game. After this, neutrals will spawn at each camp every minute. Creeps will not spawn if a unit is within a certain rectangular area of the given creep camp at the next minute mark. You need to avoid this rectangular area and imagine it in your head. If you're within a certain range of that creep camp, then it won't spawn. This includes your hero, any creep who are past this area, wards, or even dead creep. You have to be very careful about this. All neutral creep have some AI. Some are classed as smarter than others, do different moves that are proven to be more annoying than others. Higher level creeps, ones that will do more damage to you, or lower level creeps that die much faster but give you much less experience and gold. Predictability of neutral creep, AI will allow you to jungle effectively if you know what you're doing. High level centaurs will use their stomp when 3 units are at melee range. High level satyrs will send out a shockwave when 2 units are in range. Neutrals can be kited by ranged heroes because of their predictability with aggression patterns. Since neutrals will not respawn at the designated time if units are in the area, you can pull the neutral creeps out of this area and make an additional camp, which is called creep stacking. By engaging the creeps and then running out of the area just before the minute mark, and then while they chase you, they're now out of the square, you're out of the square, and then the minute mark passes, creeps spawn, and then everyone runs back, and then you've stacked, shown here in this video at the same time. The advantages of jungling. Gives your team an additional solo lane, which means you have more XP overall for your entire team, more gold for your entire team, and the entire team benefits as a whole for you having that jungler. You do not have to compete for elastics while you're jungling, no one else is going to steal them. You get easier ganking time because you're always missing, and you can pop out whenever the best time is into the lane that you're near. If pulling, you can decrease the enemy's experience and money gain. Some heroes perform better in the jungle, they can farm better unhindered by the enemy, people with escapes, or just overall kill the creep faster. An entertaining change of pace from conventional laning, something that you might not be used to. Some notes on jungling. Lots of starting builds are acceptable, but in general you need HP / mana regen depending on what the hero you're playing is, and those are essential, you can't just not get them. And practice is required for every single, apart from maybe Enigma, to actually learn to jungle on that character, because it all differs. What makes a good jungler? The summoners. So Enchantress, Sylebear, Enigma, Furion, Chen, Lycan, Broodmother, the type of people who can control units, create units, and that type of thing. AoE spells and abilities, so Juggernaut, Beastmaster, Brewmaster, Axe, Darkseer, Centaur, Warchief with its AoE spell. Other useful abilities would be Troll Warlord, Bloodseeker for Bloodbath, and Ursa for Fury swipes. Many heroes can jungle, more than the ones that have been listed, but in terms of difficulty, it varies. If you're trying to do it on a support, you're going to find that you're struggling way harder than someone like, again, Furion, who's one of the best junglers. Similar to who can solo and who should solo, there are people who can jungle, but there are also people who should jungle. If your character can jungle, it might be better not to jungle, depending on the team setup you have. Hopefully, if you're of a higher level, then that will never happen, but sometimes at lower levels of play, then you will see people pick terrible options, and if you go jungle, there'll be no one who can take the solo lane. The summon strategy. Summoners have a wonderful aspect to their neutraling. This is a built-in tank. They can control either their own creep or control the creep that they're fighting and get new abilities along with it. Many summons can cost a lot of mana, so you need to get mana regen over HP regen in these cases, because if you're having a minion tank for you rather than you tank, then you're going to need the mana to constantly get more creep to have a minion to tank for you. Have you and your summon, or summons, attack the same creep, so you're all attacking the same thing, so the sooner they die, the sooner you're taking less damage. Once your summon is on low health, move the summon back, so use a bit of micro to make it so you're swapping tanks, and allow that to heal up. If the summon is about to expire the time, it should tank as much as possible. Even just try and kill it and do as much damage as you can with it. Use all of its abilities just to get the most out of that summon. You can even send the summon to a rune spawn and use the weaker summons as sort of a warding. You have to remember though that your summons, just like you or creep, will block jungle spawns if they are in the specific areas. Don't forget about your other abilities and just give up ganking, especially when you've got summons and new abilities. For instance, if you're like on Enchantress and you've got Centaur, you've got a stun all of a sudden. You run in there, you use your slow on them, gives the Centaur enough time to stun them, hit stun, and then you've done loads of damage that most Enchantresses won't have done because they won't have had Centaur there. AoE spells and abilities. Take into account the nature of your jungler. If he's mana dependent, then you need to look after his mana, spend carefully on mana, get more mana regenerating things like potions, or if he's more like Axe, who's going to be tanking, you want HP regen, maybe tangos because you're going to be tanking damage, or if you want, get a salve and stand back and heal up, that kind of thing. Use creep stacking to maximize the value of your spells. Use creep pulling to have the creep in your lane tank the damage for you if you're struggling. It also stops XP as previously mentioned, there's no creep for the enemy to kill, so you're just overall helping yourself and your team. If possible, if you're on a ranged hero perhaps, try to kite the creep camps to minimise damage. This does take more time to do because you're taking less time to auto attack, but if you're on low health and you just need that little bit of gold, it's always a good thing to consider. Specific camps and how to tackle the jungle. Small camps. That's 2 Felboars or 1 Ghost. Three Null Assassins. 1 Cobalt Taskmaster, 2 Troll Berserkers, 1 Troll High Priest and 2 Troll Berserkers. Or like 200 of those little Gobble dudes. This is often the best camp to try and fight at the start of the game. Always go here first, they're the easiest camp to take down, they do the least damage, and you kill them faster. Although it does give less gold, it'll probably get you close or to level 2, and then at which point you can start taking on the medium camp. However, if you're playing someone like Chen or Enchantress and you can take control of a creep, it's not always best to go to the small camp. You should go to the medium or the large camp and control the strongest creep and then start from there. Medium camps, 2 normal wolves and an alpha wolf, which has a command aura, 1 centaur with stun and 1 centaur runner, 2 level 4 satyrs with mana burn or 2 satyr tricksters with purge, 1 ogre magi frost armor and 2 ogres, 2 mud golems who are magic immune. These are more important than the small camp, and the ones that you'll be doing creep pulling on. The mud golems are generally the worst to fight as they deal a lot of damage and are immune to magical spells, so you struggle to kill them if you're not on someone like Axe. Even on Axe there's only 2 of them, so that your chance to proc your swing is much less. High level centaur cans will use a stomp when 3 units are at melee range, so someone on Lycan has a problem fighting these because it ends up just stunning him. Try to bait the centaur into using stomp by getting in range and then leaving quickly. Finally, large camps. That's 1 centaur can with stun and 1 centaur runner, same as the medium level. 2 furbolgs, you've got stomp there. The trolls with Dark Troll Warlord who can summon the skeletons and also net you. Enraged Wildkins who have tornadoes and 2 baby Wildkins. These camps are the most difficult to kill. It's not a good idea to take these early, but with summons and good micro this can be done. Better to take other camps first however to level up until these are easy. I will not mention the ancients much since they take a lot of gear. You need to be very strong and high level, and also on certain heroes actually be able to take them. Someone like Lycan, however, can take the ancients at like level 7 with level 4 wolves, and with the Vladimirs, giving them lots of lifesteal and damage, and also the wars tanking a lot of damage too. Creep stacking. This term refers to a special technique of pulling the neutral creeps away from the rectangular area just as the next minute occurs, allowing the next set of creep to spawn while the original creep are chasing you. Here's a video of Nexus doing that while I talk about it. This is particularly valuable for AoE abilities. Someone who can take the extra damage, I would advise this with Axe as often as you can, like previously said. Using this technique allows you to get more experience and gold than you would have gained by killing the creep normally. Creep pulling. This term refers to pulling a neutral wave out of their camp's location for some purpose. Most of the time the purpose is to be brought into allied creeps to aid in fighting the neutral camp, and also, doing the overall pull to prevent experience for the enemy, as previously said. Allows you to avoid taking damage since your creeps will fight for you rather than you being attacked. Denies some of the enemy experience since your creep may die to the neutrals, hopefully. Useful while your summons are on cooldown or you just don't have the mana right now. It greatly disturbs the creep wave line. It stops them from being in the lane for ages. Then when the enemy creep finally reaches the tower, they come back with the other wave. It's a big wave, bigger than normal. Can be done by any hero, not just the ones who are good at jungling. It can be done by literally any hero. Makes it difficult for the enemy team to lane, as they will have to proceed far past the tower to stay in XP range, or even go to the neutral area where you're doing the creep pull. And if you're doing this on the jungler, that's one person, and then the solo lane's there, or it probably will be the two people in lane, and then it's 3v2 all of a sudden, and you force them into this awkward situation. Since these spawns are blockable by use of wards, teams in higher level play will often place a ward in the spawning rectangle, preventing neutrals from spawning, and also it makes it easier for them to spot you because they can see you when you go to this camp. Two primary camps that are used for pulling are the topmost medium camp on the bad side, and on the bottommost medium camp on the good side. If the camp you are pulling contains a Centaur can, level 5 with Stomp, he will stomp you, allied creeps, if 3 units are in range. You have to be careful with this. If you see that 3 are going to walk in range of a Centaur, then you just move out, let him do the stun, and then go in. Alright guys, that covers our episode 5 of Learn to Play on jungling. I hope you found this useful. We're getting very, very close to the expert level guides and tips, so I hope you're ready for them. Thanks for watching guys, see you next time.